This was another hugely requested build and guide, and basically my build and guide to Twinblast is don't play him. Thanks for watching, until next time guys, peace. All jokes aside, I want to give a huge thanks to Team Oxygen, especially iCameron for letting me showcase his build. Twinblast is in a really bad spot, but iCameron has come up with a great way to make him somewhat viable. The build relies on buying really cheap items really fast and then slowly transitioning into more expensive items to boost our damage, attack speed and health. Now the build contains a lot of minor strikes, but I will show you how the build looks at 60 card points so you can make your own similar build with the cards you have. The build looks like this. We have the Warlord as our prime card, a health potion, 4 strike tokens, but if you only have 2, that is fine. We then have that all important Blink Charm. Next is our cheaper Flashfire Piston with 2 Kinetics and a minor Kinetic. Our more expensive Flashfire Piston has 2 vicious Kinetics and a major Kinetic. You then want to start with your cheaper Adamant Edge with 2 lesser health and a minor strike, followed by your more expensive Adamant Edge with a lesser health, greater health and a major strike. Now Cameron's build does actually have a minor strike here, but I don't have enough, so I've used a lesser health instead. Amulet of the Veteran is our next card with 2 greater healths and a major strike. Guardian's Ward with a major strike and 2 minor strikes. A Rust Breaker with 3 minor strikes, and a second Rust Breaker with a major pierce and 2 major strikes. Now you can throw in Blinkshot like I do, or you can add in another Adamant Edge to curve the build better. Cameron says that the spare Adamant Edge can be used to fill the point gap when you don't have enough points to buy Blink Charm. Twinblast's early to mid game is quite weak. I don't really feel that he packs a punch until at least 30 to 40 card points, so we need to play safe, farm efficiently and be taking jungle camps when possible. All this is made possible by the cheap cost of our early game items. I'll go over the build order and then we can take a look at how you should be playing Twinblast. We start with a health potion and double strike token. Ideally you want to back on 6 card points, sell both your strike tokens, equip your Guardian's Ward and max that out. Again back when you have 6 card points, throw in your cheaper Rust Breaker and max that out. We do the same when we have our next 6 card points, this time buying our cheaper Adamant Edge. Finally, when we hit 27 card points, throw in your Blink Charm and a single strike token. We then sell the strike token for our cheaper Flashfire Piston when we get our next 6 points and we've hit our mid game build at 33 card points. We then sell our health potion for our second Adamant Edge, again maxing it out. The choice is now up to you on what you upgrade next. I decide to replace my Rust Breaker with the more expensive version, sell my Adamant Edge for the Amulet of Veteran, and finally I'll sell my cheap Flashfire for the more expensive one and we'll be at 60 card points. The final build looks like this. We have our 12 point Rust Breaker with damage and some penetration, our Amulet of the Veteran for health and damage, our Flashfire Piston for attack speed, Blink Charm for escaping or engaging, our Guardian's Ward because Shadow Wards are incredibly valuable, and our Adamant Edge again for more damage and health. If you don't have the early game items, you can copy the late game build and find similar early game items to help you reach 60 card points. For Twinblast's abilities, you really want to take his Rocket Dash first. While it's a pretty small distance, it definitely helps dodging skill shots and can help you out when dealing with ganks. What I usually do is unlock my Rocket Dash first, but then focus on my Grenade and Nitro abilities next. I like to focus on Grenade over Nitro, mostly because as you level it, the slower it applies increases, which should help you survive. This is something Cameron also mentioned. Twinblast is in a weird spot at the moment, so you want to maximize your Grenade and Nitro and then your Rocket Dash, and once all your abilities are maximized, then you want to unlock your ultimate and work on that, mainly because it sucks and has no real purpose. Being that Twinblast really comes online towards the later stages of the game, you have to focus everything on getting there as quickly as possible. That means when I'm not pushing an objective or fighting an enemy hero, I'm farming. If I'm rotating from one lane to another, providing I don't have to get there in a hurry, I'm taking camps along the way. I'm invading the enemy jungle to take their farm, and I'm always eating up those tasty level 2 or 3 camps and constantly looking out for the red buff. I try not to be too aggressive early on because I know I have a huge disadvantage in terms of raw damage against pretty much every other hero. But if you have a good support, I think it's fine to play a bit aggressive and punish enemies out of position. Speaking of positioning, I get caught out on the left lane completely alone and out of position. All my abilities are on cooldown, but I managed to dodge Kwang's sword, which keeps me alive. Countess uses her teleport on me, but I use my rocket dash to get away to safety. Kwang is running at me and I have to hit him. If he tethers me, I die for free, so engaging him is the best option here. I use my grenade to slow him and then managed to kill him, but it was definitely close. At around 33 card points, you have a good amount of damage to hurt the enemies, especially if you are ahead and you have the red buff. Kalari ults Murdoch to get him out of travel, and then I hit him, taking chunks out of his health. The Fae ults us, but I use my Blinkshot to position myself more aggressively and secure the kill on Murdoch, resetting my Blink's cooldown. The Fae is then a free kill, and so is the tower and eventually the inhibitor. Having taken the inhibitor, my first reaction is to take more jungle farm. Unless I'm at 60, there is no reason not to take their jungle and my own jungle if there are some sweet tier 3 camps. I see a lot of people retreating when they take an inhibitor, but as long as it's safe to do so, taking camps is always a better option and will put you further ahead, something that definitely helps Twinblast a lot. By this point, I'm ridiculously far ahead of their enemies, and I'm only playing against gold or plat players on this account, but you can just watch how easy it is to shred Murdoch with Ore Prime, and being at 60 card points, I ignore the minions, run right up to him, hit my nitro, and just delete him. Like I said, at 60 card points, I think Twinblast is as good as most carries, it's just getting there is a pain. You can still get early kills on Twinblast, but you are relying on your jungler and your lane partner to do the majority of the damage. You can see I hit Deco for only 35. If I was Murdoch or Sparrow, my Chimera probably wouldn't have to dive that tower to secure the kill, so things like this are what deter most people from picking Twinblast, but it is definitely possible to do well with him, it just requires a lot more effort. Before I leave you to try this build for yourself, I want to give you one tip with regards to Blinkshot and Blink Charm. The reason I have both in my deck and why I take Blinkshot is simple. If I use Blinkshot but I'm unable to reset the cooldown, I'll switch it to Blink Charm. This will reduce the cooldown significantly. I die with Blinkshot on a cooldown for 274 seconds, far too long, so I switch it out for my Blink Charm. It's now on cooldown for 134 seconds, so now we don't have to wait a ridiculous amount of time to blink again. This video was mostly to showcase an actual viable build for Twinblast by arguably the best carry in the game, iCameron, and less about the guide part of it, but if you do want tips, check out my other carry guides. Once again, a special thanks to iCameron, Baelix and Team Oxygen. Definitely check those guys out, all the links are in the description below, and show them some support in the upcoming Agora Rising tournament. If you enjoyed this video, smash that thumbs up button. Also, let me know in the comment section below if you'd like me to cover more competitive player builds in the future. Maybe we could do a spotlight where we look at their builds. Until next time guys, peace.